So today's episode, I want to talk about teaching your children how to be effective and how to grow up with a great set of skills. Now for us, we made the choice to buy this boat as a part of that whole process. I am by no ways or means an expert in raising children, am I? but part of this whole experience for us has been really opening up the kids to a set of opportunities that they ordinarily wouldn't get. So here we have Sophia at 16 and a half driving the boat through one of the most complex channels and what's certainly the longest channel in the country, and it's one of the most complex channels in the country as well. It's very narrow and it's very shallow, but she does it with confidence. So that little beeping was the depth alarm going on, and we're coming in just on high tide, so for an alarm to go off in the channel just on high tide would be unnerving, but Sophia's done this many times. It's easy. Hey Sophia.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful lifestyle, and we're very privileged to have it. We've worked hard to get here, and we really hope that what we are doing and what we're sharing is motivational for some families out there to just grab life by the horns and just do it. You know, it may seem daunting and hard on the surface, but it's really not. You just have to think outside the box, solve your problems creatively, and look for opportunities each and every day. And that's good. Now Sophia's starting to get a bit stressed as we're going through the really scary bit of the channel.
Just like many people out there, we have focused a lot of time and energy into our children. Prior to getting the boat, we did all of the normal things and had a very busy schedule with a 2-year-old and 3 older children in school and a variety of activities. They were involved in so much, and it was not uncommon for 3 of the 4 children to all be doing something different after school on any given day. Bundle this with the complexities of running a business and our life was crazy busy. Again, not unusual for the times we are living in. What was a little crazy on reflection though, was that we were outsourcing our experiential learning but still participating from the sidelines as casual observers. This wasn't really saving us time, and we weren't involved other than to be taxi drivers. Our life on the water is a whole lot more simple. There are less distractions and more chances to focus on the present. The girls still need to keep up with their educational commitments. Hayley and I still need to run our business, but outside of that, we are all a lot more involved in each other's lives. The quality of time spent together is far greater.
As Sophia brings the boat into the marina, it is worth reiterating that she is just 16 and a half, and the boat is 57 feet long and around 25 tons, we think. It is by no means a small boat, but it is the only boat we've known, so we have learnt to handle it in a variety of conditions. It is also worth noting that the conditions are always changing, and she has gained the experience and maturity to acknowledge that with time, things do change. In the 3 years we have owned the boat, the point at the entrance has collected sediment and crept into the channel quite significantly, to the point that we only feel comfortable travelling over the seafloor hump in and around high tide, and very close to the channel marker poles to give us the most amount of room. Some of our peer neighbours have actually run aground on this hump in large sport fishing boats with shallower planing hulls and damaged their propellers. With our semi-displacement keel, we have a deeper draft, and whilst our propellers are protected, the chance of running aground is a lot higher, and there could be nothing more embarrassing than running aground at the entrance to the marina. Imagine that. When we first bought the boat, we were fortunate to have the previous owner Ross give us a lengthy handover period. He appreciated our plucky attitude, but also respected the fact that this was our very first boat, so graciously set aside some time to make sure we knew what we were doing and could do it safely. Our first short trip was just Ross and I, and to be fair, it was all a little bit of a blur just wrapping my head around what we had gotten ourselves into. Ross and I discussed our family dynamics on that trip and logically talked through what the contingency was to have someone help me out with everything on the boat. At the time, our youngest Max was just over 2.5 years old, so my wife's focus was on keeping him out of harm's way and not touching things he ought not be touching. After 4 kids, we knew that flashing and blinking lights would be irresistible to a 2-year-old. So after that trip and a conversation as a family, it was decided that the very mature, no-nonsense eldest of our children, Sophia, would step up and learn the ropes. The second trip with Ross was a little longer, and Sophia came along to learn her role as first mate directly from Ross, whilst I concentrated on operating the boat with the ability to ask questions. Sophia was a quick learner and over the first year settled into her role as my number 1 helper. Over the years, the roles have actually reversed. We found that hauling up a mooring line in high winds is not easy and requires quite a bit of muscle and the ability to react fast so as not to lose fingers. To begin with, it was just Sophia on the bow, but we discovered some of the mooring ropes were harder to deal with than others, depending on the tide and the wind. So Hayley joined in for some extra muscle. This worked well in the calm with the Marriage Saver headsets, but we had a couple of very near misses in high winds with fingers almost getting jammed, so we had to find a better way. It was time for Sophia to learn to drive the boat. Right, so I'm going to go down there and take off the ball. You are going to look out the window, look out the back, and go, right, there's a big tree there. So if you go backwards, if you go backwards, you have to go backwards. If you go backwards, so just go backwards until it clicks on this one, because what that does is it'll drag us this way. It'll turn us, because it's only the starboard engine going backwards. So what the starboard engine going backwards will do, will swing us around in a circle that way. So just click it down, just pull it down until it just clicks once. And you'll hear it. So like this. Yeah? So do you want to do it? So you know? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So just pull it down until it clicks. And then just let it
come back up.
Yeah, just let it go for 5 seconds, so that
Until we're facing like that.
yeah, so that we just go backwards to get far enough away from the ball. Okay. Right, you ready?
Yeah, tell me when. Now?
Right, now.
Yeah. We're going backwards.
Yep, we're going back and we're starting to turn. Good. Right, stop. Yep. Now forward on this one. Yep. No, we're fine. And see how we're now turning this way? Now forward on both. Yep. Yep. Now to go this way a bit more.
Go further forward. I reckon that will clear. Yeah.
Right, so we're now just ambling out quietly of the bay. So you stand here. Right, so we just check our course. bit.
We don't.
Just
Where are we
give
heading?
yeah. So just give it a little bit of wheel this way, just a little bit.
This way.
No, other way.
Oh
this
wait,
way.
no, it's
Yep. Just a little bit. Yep. Yep. Now you can give these a bit more juice. Yep. Both together.
There.
Yep. Bit more. Bit more. All the way out. Look at this. All the way. Yep. That's it.
Down a bit.
No, it's fine.
What again?
So this one's not doing as much. So
Oh, look at the water nice.
now see what's happened? It's because you didn't centre your wheel.
Over the side, guys.
We're now going that way even more. So that's fine.
Over the side.
But whenever you do a movement, you have to then bring it back to centre, because what happens is you turn the rudder and you leave it there. In the water, you just keep going the way that the rudder's pointing. So now that we're going 6.5 knots, so this is the speed, 6.5, and it says S over G, so speed over ground. So if you sit down, you can see it.
Should we film us instead? Or?
No. So see, SOG, speed over ground, and knots. 6 points. So anything over 6 knots, and the steering wheel is responsive. Okay. Right. So we want to head right out into the bay. So now you straighten up. Straighten up. Yeah, straighten up. You're going to have to overbrake now. Yep, overbrake. Keep going. Look at your angle. Yep. Now go back to 0. Yep, cool. Now we're heading out to the bay, so look around, make sure that no one's in your way. Whack it down to 1200. Yep, so that's 12. That's 12. Cool. A little bit more.
This one.
Yep. Now see, because
Oh, that's a bit much.
because you didn't have your wheels centered. See how we drifted us off? So it's fine. So you want to be out in the middle of the basin. There's this thing here.
Hi, I'm Sophia from Nauti, and today I want to talk a bit about my journey to driving.
So this has been quite a long journey. We're approaching our 4th summer, aren't we?
Yeah.
So how old were you when you first started learning to be first mate?
I was 13.
And you're now 16
Yeah.
and a half. And learning to drive a car,
Yeah.
which is quite funny because you've been driving the boat for quite a few years now, haven't you?
Yeah.
But you do take control quite often and do large stretches now, don't you?
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
It's very different from driving a car. Like, I feel more comfortable driving the boat, definitely.
Do you prefer driving up the top from the upper helm from the flybridge, or from down below in the salon?
I prefer driving from the flybridge because you can see all of your surroundings, whereas where you're driving from downstairs, it's really good if it's raining, but if it's not, you can't see everything.
The angles are all different, aren't they?
Yeah. And you're more to the starboard side of the ship when you're driving from down the bottom, whereas you're right in the middle, which is perfect up here.
Part of our journey together has been getting qualifications. So we've got our day skippers, you've got a first aid certificate, you've done some VHF training as well.
Yeah.
And from here it starts getting a bit more serious, and we had to wait until you were 16 to start tackling those ones. Is that an exciting component of your future?
Yes, it is. I'll just keep getting the certifications that I need and then maybe do the super yacht course.
And do you have to be 18 to do that?
Yes.
Yeah, so you've got another couple
For the
year and a half.
hospitality sector, you have to be 18 because it's like well, handling alcohol and stuff.
So, this whole lifestyle has turned into something altogether different, hasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we head on over and pick up this mooring ball?
Yeah.
So we'll chuck, first things first, shall we get our headsets?
Yep.
So we've got quite a bit of wind on our nose coming from starboard.
I'm just driving up to the mooring right now. It will take a wee bit longer because we're going quite slow just because of the wind. But we'll get there.
Right, so...
Which mooring? The closer one or the further away one?
Maybe the closer one.
The one right in front of us?
Yeah. No, this one over to port.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with the wind as we get closer into shore, because it's now swinging around to this way. Before it was swinging that way. So I think maybe head port a little bit. So part of the great things about these AirTech Marriage Saver headsets is even in windy conditions like we're in right now, we can still have a conversation, we can still be heard, we don't have to yell and scream, we can talk quietly and calmly, and we can easily communicate. So Sophia is approaching the mooring ball from the right angle, and then she will swing around using the engines to spin on itself as we approach from the starboard side, so that we end up pointing into the wind. So Sophia,
Yes.
I would go a little bit more to port. So
Really? With the bow thrusters?
No. So just use the starboard engine forward and the port engine reverse at this point.
Like that?
Yep.
More?
No, that's good. And then as we get closer, you're going to put the port engine in forward and the starboard engine in reverse. I hope, is your steering wheel straight?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, now?
Now, yeah.
Reverse and port forward.
Yep.
Reverse harder
Yep.
and forward harder.
Yep. Port forward a bit more. Starboard reverse a bit more. Yep. Port forward.
Yeah, like that.
Off on starboard.
Both off.
Starboard neutral.
Yeah. Both off now.
Both forward. Both forward.
Neutral. Both forward.
Both forward.
Starboard reverse a bit.
Starboard reverse. Yep. A lot more. Yep. A lot more. Yep.
Both reverse.
Bow thrust. No. Port forward.
Port forward.
Yep. Port forward.
Okay, port is forward.
Bit more.
Like there. Reverse.
Yep. Reverse. Both reverse.
Faster.
Yep.
Is that good?
Both forward.
Both forward.
Yep. Missed it.
Forward more.
Forward more. Yep.
Should I be using the bow thrusters?
Yep.
Neutral
So
both?
That's it. Neutral.
Bow thrust. No?
No.
Reverse?
Reverse.
How's that?
Yep. We're in
Neutral?
neutral. Yep.
Forward? Forward? Or are we good?
Forward. Right, so that was quite complicated, primarily because the Kong hook wouldn't release. But see, even now it's not releasing.
Is it stuck?
It's stuck, yeah. So that probably needs a little bit of grease on it.
It's gotten tied up with the other rope.
And we got some blood.
Oh God.
But we're on the mooring, which is what we need to be. But through that whole exercise, there was a little bit of stress at the end, because the first attempt to clip it on, it wouldn't undo, and then we were too far away from it, which meant it was all a bit stressful, but we got there.
Working with the anchor requires precision manoeuvring, especially when raising the anchor when it is set in thick mud. In deeper water, the chain needs to be flaked into the chain locker, which is heavy and dirty work. Sophia has developed the helm skills to place the boat exactly where it needs to be in order to raise the anchor effectively.
So we'll just turn on the washdown pump. We can see where the anchor is laid and we can see where the boat is right now. And so as we pull up the anchor, we can see that the anchor is 26.4 meters away from us. So it's over there. Looking at the map, anchor is just over there. So we'll direct Sophia to drive us over as we pull the anchor up, the whole time just checking how far away we are. Sophia, can you turn the winch on? Safety hook off, good catch. Right, so Sophia, we go starboard ahead, just put it in gear. We hope you have enjoyed some insight into Sophia's journey to becoming a very confident and capable captain, one that will be able to helm a boat with skill, precision and mindfulness. We are very proud she has worked hard to cultivate these attributes and now has over 100 hours of time at the helm under her belt. Her next challenge will be the most challenging, learning to dock the boat. Please consider subscribing so that you can share in this huge milestone. See you all soon, and we hope you find the time to be a little bit naughty.